Okay, good morning. So, some sad news is Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. You probably all heard that. She was obviously a terrific lady and fought for women's rights in particular. And it's going to be... I wish she could have hung on till after the election. We want a Supreme Court that's balanced, and that might not happen. So anyway, I think we should honour that lady. Today I was thinking we would focus a little bit more on warrior poses, Virabhadrasana 1, 2 and 3. There's a reverse warrior, and there's also like a reverse warrior where you're adding a little bit of a twist to it as well. I don't do that very often, but if I remember, we'll have a go at that one. And we'll try and add it into a bit of a flow. And we'll do some shoulder openers as well. We'll work on dolphin towards the beginning of the class. Interesting video I saw, webinar, which was organised by the PTSA for Homestead High School, and it was by a doctor, and he had a few good tips to how to help yourself, help the body if you do get the coronavirus. And basically he was saying diet and exercise really helps to build the immune system, and he mentioned breathing a lot, and to get those lungs nice and strong, because quite often the coronavirus will get into the lungs. So we're going to start off with some deep breathing. So just sit nice and comfortably, get length in the spine. So I'm trying to bring my hips forward here, broadening across the collarbone. I know we do a lot of breathing stuff in yoga, but we'll work on that to begin with. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. As you inhale, you're pulling that air in, you're filling the lungs, expanding the ribs. Exhale, try to make the exhale just as long as the inhale. Inhale. Exhale. So what I'd like you to do at the top of the next inhale is just pause. So take a deep breath in. Slight pause, and then see if you can bring in a little bit more. And then release. Inhale. Slight pause, and then see if you can inhale a bit more, and then release. Three or four more rounds at your pace. Trying to pull an extra bit of air, extra bit of oxygen in at the top of the inhale. Exhale, making that exhale just as long as the inhale. Regular breathing. Open the eyes if they're closed. Inhale as you sweep the arms up. Keep the palms together as you bring the arms down. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale as they come down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, coming down. Let's take an easy twist. So we're going to place the right hand onto the left leg and we're going to inhale tall. Remember last week, I think it was last week, we talked about trying to ascend as you inhale. Basically we're trying to get length on the inhale and get into the pose on the exhale. So take 3 or 4 breaths in the twist. Easy twist. You're looking over that shoulder towards the back behind you. Inhale back to center. Exhale as we twist in the other direction. Inhale back to center. Placing the left hand over to the side, lining it up with the hips. So that hand's fair distance away from you. You're inhaling that right arm up. You're reaching up, trying to touch the ceiling, and then you're bringing that arm over the head. You're looking up towards the ceiling. And we take about 3 or 4 breaths here. Getting a nice stretch down the side. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, we take the other hand over to the other side. We inhale, reaching that left arm up as much as you can. And then exhale into that side bend. I'm trying to stretch out the ribs, open the ribs. That's going to help with the deep breathing. And it's also going to stretch out the hip. Inhale, coming back up. And then just loosen the shoulders up a little bit. Just moving, whatever feels good. So bring both arms up. So the arms are parallel to the ground, they're out to the side. Just like you would prep for eagle arms. And just check that the hands are nicely lined up with the arms. You don't want wimpy hands, you don't want floppy hands, but you don't want to overstress them. You don't want the fingers up towards the ceiling. You want to get that nice straight line, so you've got lines of energy through the arms, and the shoulders, you're trying to soften the shoulders at the same time. And you're going to feel this. You're starting to work just to have the arms here, right? I can feel my shoulders. I'm trying to relax those shoulders. It's a little bit of a challenge here. So next, we're going to take the right arm under the left arm, eagle arms. Getting the back of the hands parallel or getting the palms parallel. We sit tall and then we start bringing the arms up towards the ceiling. And you're going to feel the stretch between the shoulder blades. Stretching out the upper back. And then see if you can touch the nose. Maybe you can touch the nose with the thumb. Maybe even the fingers. And we release. And we just move those shoulders again. Relax the shoulders, get tall, arms over to the side, hold. Does this feel a little bit easier? Just checking the hands are nicely lined up, lines of energy through the arms. You're breathing, don't hold the breath. So if you ever find you're holding the breath, you're probably working too hard. If you start to pant, you're getting taking those little short breaths, you're working too hard. We bring the left arm under the right arm, getting the back of the hands or the palms parallel. Then lifting the arms up, making sure the arms are centered, stretching out the upper back. And then see if you can touch the nose with the thumb or the fingers. And we release. And then we loosen the shoulders up again. Interlace the fingers. Actually, let's interlace them the other way. This seems a little bit weird. And we're going to push the palms, extend the arms forward with the fingers interlaced. Shoulders back. And then we start bringing the arms up. We're trying to frame the head. Don't go too far. If it feels good, you can have the arms forward, but eventually we're trying to get the arms either side of the ears. You're breathing. You're trying to straighten the arms. And then we bring the arms down, and we're going to interlace the hands behind us, opening the chest. So take it easy to begin with. We're just trying to bring the shoulders down. We're trying to pull the shoulder blades together. And then as we fold forward, looking forward, we start bringing the arms up. Go as far forward as you can, and then start tucking the chin. But keep bringing the arms up if you can, keeping the shoulders happy. And then we slowly come back up. And we release the shoulders. So another thing they said in this PTSA is, you know, if you have, they say it's really good to sort of try and stand. So he was trying to encourage people when they're doing a lot of computer work, maybe have a little stand so you can put the computer high and you can work while you're standing some of the time. Try not to sit down more than like 30 minutes. Take a little mini break if you can. That's obviously difficult for students because, you know, lessons are a lot longer than that. But, you know, if they had a stand, they could sit for a while and stand. And he's all about moving the body around. So moving is good. Okay. Maybe if I find the link to his slides, I'll send that to you guys. Come onto your hands and knees. So we'll do cat-cow a few times. So just check the hands out. Space between the fingers. You've got space between the thumb and the index finger, but not too much space. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale, round in the back and tucking the chin. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling into cat. Inhaling cow. Exhaling cat. Again, this is helping with the breath. We're moving slowly. We're trying to take deep breaths. We're synchronizing that movement with the breath. And then we're going to come face down. And we're going to come into a forearm plank. So you're on your forearms, elbows are under the shoulders. And what I'd like you to do is to make fists. So you're making fists. We tuck the toes. We engage the core. And we bring those hips up into a forearm plank. Chin is tucked, you're looking directly at the ground. You're breathing. We bring the feet a little bit closer, a couple of inches between the big toes. Now this is totally optional. You're going to bring one leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We switch legs. You don't have to bring the leg up if you don't want. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We come all the way down. we bring the palms together, so elbows are still under the shoulders. This time palms together, we walk the knees underneath the hips. Keep the toes just where they are, keep the elbows just where they are as you come into dolphin. So we're going to bring those hips up. So dolphin, I usually keep the knees a little bit bent, and then we're trying to get a straight line, elbows through the shoulders to the hips. Chin is tucked, you're looking towards the legs. So you want to keep the head off the ground, so make sure the arms are not spread out too much. If the head is on the ground, bring the arms a little bit closer. Chin is tucked, you're looking between the legs, you're breathing. And then we come down and we just sit on the heels. So dolphin is a really challenging pose. It's a nice shoulder opener. But there's two things. You're pushing the forearms into the ground to keep the head up, and then it's almost like you're trying to push the mat away. Like in down dog. We never hang out like this with the shoulders over the wrist. You're pushing yourself away. But the same in dolphin. You coming up and then you're pushing the mat away from you, trying to get that straight line. Let's try dolphin one more time. So the elbows under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and it's optional, palms together. I like that, makes it a bit easier. Classical way is the palms on the ground, forearms are parallel. We bring the hips up and we take those hips back. Working those shoulders, you're breathing. So the knees, I like to keep the knees bent to keep the back neutral, but if you want to straighten the legs a little bit, you can. But I find it a little bit easier in dolphin with the knees bent. Some people like knees bent in down dog as well, which is fine. And then the knees come down. We bring the hands underneath the shoulders, and then downward facing dog. So I would start off with the knees a little bit bent, make it an easy down dog, first down dog. Pushing the thumb, index finger into the ground, little finger into the ground, armpits towards the ground, chin is tucked, you're looking between the legs, even towards the belly button. You're getting more length with each breath. Inhale. Exhale, get that length. Inhale. Exhale, get that length. Eventually, if you can keep the back neutral, legs are going to be straightened, heels are going to be coming down towards the ground. And then come into a full plank. Bring the knees down, elbows stay in. You're bringing the whole body forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Opening that chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale into mountain pose. Let's do a few half salutes. Inhale, sweeping those arms up. Reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again, head relaxed. Inhale, we come all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, mountain. This time into chair. We bend the knees. We sweep the arms up. Inhaling. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We walk into plank. We bring the knees down. We bring the chin chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring the feet a little bit closer. Walk the dog. You're pedaling the legs. And then look forward. Walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Knees bent. We're back in chair. And then we come all the way up. So what we're going to do next, we'll work our way from chair into the warrior one pose. I'm just going to move my mat back a little bit. My head might be chopped off some of the time, but never mind. We're in chair. You're bending the knees. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We're in plank. Chaturanga, or knees, chin, chest to ground. Inhaling into cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We turn the back foot in. And we sweep the arms up. So warrior one. You guys know warrior one? You can have the arms parallel, palms facing each other. Now usually if I do that, I'm looking directly forward. If I want to add a little bit of a back bend, I'll bring the palms together and I'll look up towards the ceiling. Front knee is bent, back leg is active, back leg is straight. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Warrior two. I just readjust that back foot. So my feet are making a 90-degree angle. This back foot is parallel to one edge of the edge of the mat, short edge of the mat. This front foot is pointing to that mat. That knee is nicely lined up with the foot. Make sure that happens. And we've got those arms extended, just like we did before. And we're looking over that arm towards that hand. And notice my body is nice and vertical. Some people like to start surfing. I always tell them, don't surf. We're in Sunnyvale, not Santa Cruz. I know, bad jokes. Reverse warrior. We flip that right hand, so that palm is up towards the ceiling. One arm comes up as the other hand goes down, coming into that reverse. And we're getting that side stretch again. Now you could add like a reverse with a little bit of a twist. Let's try that. I don't do that very often. But this time we take the right hand to the back, trying to get it to the back of that back leg, and the other arm comes up, and we do a little bit of a back bend here. A little bit of a reverse twist. A little bit of a challenge. So we're going to transition to the other side. We'll do a reverse warrior again, and we come into plank. Chaturanga, inhaling to up dog, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up, your left leg, and sweep that foot through, coming into warrior one. So hold warrior one. I'm just going to switch sides so you guys can see me. I can see you. I can see the screen at least. So we're in warrior one, other side. Maybe add a little bit of a back bend, looking up, palms together. And then we come into warrior two. Now in the warrior poses, the feet, if you draw a straight line from the front foot, I like it to intersect the back heel, or either intersect the center of that back foot, either way. So you don't want the feet too wide apart. You don't want that alignment, so I don't want to bring that back foot forward or too far back. That's what I mean by too far apart. We're trying to get that front knee at 90 eventually. when looking over that front hand. We'll do a reverse warrior, and then we'll try and do warrior 2, and then the revolved reverse warrior. And we come back into warrior 2, reverse warrior, and then we sweep that back hand onto the ground. Plank, chaturanga, inhale into up dog, exhale down dog, and we take a breath or two here. And we bring the knees down to the ground and we rest in child's pose. So whenever you're ready, come out of child's pose, sit on the heels. So we're going to do, there's another warrior, warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. And I usually like to get into it from a lunge. This is a challenging pose, and it's actually, most of you probably know, it's not my favourite pose. But sometimes it's good to do poses we don't like. I think I'll do a little bit of a demo first for some of you. It might be new to some of you. But what I'll do is I'll get into just a lunge like this, and quite often I'll have a block. If you don't have a block, no worries. And I'll bring the back leg up, back knee up, and I'll have the block in front of me about a foot or two. And with my hands on the block or my fingers on the ground, and I'll just be I'm on the right leg, and that left leg is up like this. Now what happens a lot is people will bring that top leg up a little bit too high. You want to try and keep those hips nice and even. And what we're trying to do, we're trying to make, this is a warrior 3 prep, we're trying to make a T shape. So the classical version is you bring those arms up and you're holding it like this. You could, another alternative is to just take the arms back. This is a little bit easier. Challenging pose. If you have any back concerns, I would just do the prep, just keep the hands on the ground, because you can put a little bit of stress on the back, so you need a strong core to keep the back happy. So let's walk to the front of the mat. We'll do a little flow into the warrior 3 poses. Inhale into chair. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We walk into plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we're going to sweep that foot forward. We're coming into a low lunge. So both feet are in the same direction. If you have a block, put the block in front of you. We then bring the back knee up, and we're going to bring the back foot off the ground, and we bring the hands underneath the shoulders. If you want, you can be on the fingertips if you want. Warrior 3 prep. And then whenever you're ready, you bring the arms forward, or you can take them back into the full warrior 3. You're breathing. Try and keep those hips nicely lined up. Don't bring that top leg up too high. Okay, while we're here, keep the leg up. Standing splits. Walk the hands closer to that front foot. Take hold of the back of the right leg as you lean forward. As you're leaning forward, you're bringing the top leg up towards the ceiling. Standing splits. And we slowly come back down into the lunge. Standing splits, that's a challenge. Okay, other side. All I'm going to do is take the block and I'm just going to circle through 180. So we've got the other knee bends, the block is in front of you, or you can have you don't need the block if you don't want. And you've got a foot or so between the toes and the block. We bring the back knee up, we hop that back foot forward, we walk the hands under the shoulders, and we lift the right leg up. You're keeping the hips nice and even. If the block is there, it helps you get a little bit higher. Chin is tucked, you're looking at the ground, and then you're bringing the arms up. You're breathing. Challenging pose. You're going to feel that hip working, it's going to strengthen the glutes. We bring the hands down, and if you want to try the standing splits, you're walking the hands closer to the foot. I'm taking hold of the back of the left ankle with the left hand. I'm starting to lean forward, I'm tucking my chin, I'm looking at that standing leg, and then I'm starting to bring that top leg up towards the ceiling. Breathe. And then I slowly bring the leg down. And we sit on the heels. Phew! Well, Warrior 3 is a challenge. It's not something I do very often, but it's fun to do those sometimes. Let's come back onto the mat, legs nice and wide. If you do have a block is underneath the shoulders. Check that the feet are parallel to each other. You don't want to be pigeon-toed. And we're just going to bend one knee as we straighten the opposite leg. We're just stretching out the adductors, and we're just going to move from side to side with the breath. Inhale coming up, exhale as you go down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Now keep one knee bent, one leg straight. What I'd like you to do is just glance at the foot, your left foot if your left leg is straight, and you want to make sure, you want to try and get the outer edge of the foot onto the mat. So you're trying to push the outer edge of the foot into the mat. Inhale, and then exhale over to the other side. And again, the outer edge of the other foot into the mat. Straighten both legs. And what we're going to do next, we're going to bring the hands between the legs. So the hands are shoulder width apart. Fingers are lined up with the toes. You're going to look forward. And I'm pushing the hands into the mat. And I'm trying to push the mat away from me. I'm trying to fold forward. And then I'm going to just tuck the chin and look between my legs. And then we bring the hands forward, and so the back underneath the shoulders. I'm on my fingertips, and I'm going to walk the feet together, heel toe, heel toe. And then we come all the way up. Inhale, exhale into mountain. Those wide-legged forward bends, they're a challenge. You need a lot of hip opening for those. So I tell you what, let's work. What we haven't done. You know what we haven't done for a while? I mentioned this last week. We haven't done tree, and we haven't done the full eagle. So we've really opened the shoulders. We've done eagle arms. So let's work into tree. So we come into a standing position, mountain, and we're going to stand on the left foot, and we're going to bring the right foot, so the leg is straight actually, I still have to bend the knee for some reason. We're going to bring the right foot inside that standing leg, and it can be below or above the knee. If you have a problem with the balance, you can have the foot on the ground, so it's just like this. But ideally the foot is below the knee like this or above the knee. We don't want it against the knee joint, so don't push into the knee joint. We then bring the palms together, and I just hang out here while I get broadness across the collarbone, and eventually I bring my arms up. And we're just hanging out here. Another variation of this is to be in half lotus, so you could have that right leg inside. The problem with that is the leg starts to slide down, so I have to hold on to the foot. Or if I really push into that standing leg, I can hold it. It doesn't always happen though. And then we slowly come out of the pose. And this is going to really strengthen that standing leg. I started to feel that. Other side, we're on the right foot, left foot, toes can be on the ground, foot can be inside the leg, just below the knee, or it can be inside the leg above the knee, trying to get it as high up as you can. And skin on skin is useful. I just try and get the foot against the inside of that leg, and if you've got skin on skin, you've got more friction there, and the arms come up whenever you're ready. And if you've got open enough hips, if you want to try it in the half lotus version, you bring that left foot inside the right hip. So I'm really trying to push the foot into the leg so it doesn't slide down, and then we're coming back up. And then arms come down, we release the leg, and we shake everything out. Shake the legs out, shake the arms out, move those shoulders, loosen up, get ready for eagle. So eagle, we bend the knees, we bring the arms up, so we've done this a lot. We bring the right arm under the left arm, getting the hands parallel. Now this time we're going to add the legs, if you want, by bringing the right leg on top of the left leg, and you're going to squeeze those legs and maybe hook that foot behind the standing leg. Once you're there, make sure the arms are centered, and then either you can touch the nose with the thumb, or you can lift the arms up. It's up to you, whatever feels good. Breathe. And then we're going to switch sides. We unwind, we shake things out. We bend the knees, we extend the arms over to the side. We bring the left arm under the right arm. We bring the left leg on top of the right leg. We squeeze those legs and maybe hook the foot. This side is a little bit more challenging for me. The foot won't hook totally, never mind. And we're trying to touch the nose with the thumb or lifting those arms up. No, I can't hook the foot totally. Breathe. And we release. So there's a lot going on in eagle pose, Virabhadrasana. You're opening the shoulders, you're opening the hips. So there's a lot going on there. Okay, we've got some sun, it's clearer today. Let's work on, actually what I'd like to do is a few more lunges, and we'll add a little bit of a hamstring stretch. So hamstring stretches are really good. They help, if you've got, if you can get those hamstrings stretched out, it helps to relieve pressure on the back. And hamstring stretches, I always find when you stretch out the hamstring, they like to, it's like stretching a bungee cord. You stretch them out and then it goes back again. So you have to persevere with the hamstrings. So I usually stretch out the hamstrings every day, maybe even twice a day. So I'm just going to bring my mat a little bit further forward. So what we'll do, we'll start off, we'll go to the front of the mat. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we're back in plank. Chaturanga. Inhaling into up dog, opening that chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up to the ceiling, extended down dog. Exhale, we bring that foot through, back knee down, we're in a low lunge, where we do this quite often. So the lunges, they stretch out the quads. You're going to be feeling this in the front of that back leg. And you know that sometimes we'll take hold of that back foot to pull the foot in. So another day for that. The hamstring, hands down to the ground, and then we're going to walk that front foot forward an inch or two. And then we're just going to start straightening that leg. Let's go in and out of the stretch. Back into the lunge, back into the hamstring stretch. Lunge, hamstring, lunge, hamstring. So this time we're going to hold the stretch. You're going to bring those hands a little bit closer. You want to make sure the knee and the toes are up towards the ceiling, and we're trying to eventually straighten the leg. If you need to bend the knee, bend the knee. Trying to keep the back neutral. If you want to go a little deeper, you start walking the hands further forward and you start hinging forwards. Be careful, make sure the back is happy. And we're getting a stretch, good stretch at the back of that leg. And then we're just going to go back into the lunge. And we're going to get nice and bouncy. And we switch. And we switch. And we switch. So the other knee is forward, the other leg is forward, back knee's on the ground. When you're doing that switch, the lighter you sound, the lighter you can make it, it means you're working the core. If you're making a sort of a thumpy elephant kind of sound, you're not using the core enough. But it's fun to try it, perfect it. Lunge, and then we work that front foot forward and exhale into the hamstring stretch. Inhale, lunge. Exhale into the hamstring. Inhale. Exhale, we keep that leg stretched. So another way to stretch out the hamstring is just stay there a minute. Is you could have a chair and you could just do it standing like this. And this is a nice way. It's pretty controlled. So I do this quite often. When you're stretching out the hamstrings, maybe 30 seconds each side, and do that twice. So this is good to do. I do this quite often, almost every day. So I'll do that both legs, 30 seconds. Then another thing I'll do, often combine it, I'll do the quad stretch like this, 30 seconds, both legs twice. And then you can do the calf muscle as well. So that's a little routine you can get into if you don't have time for a full yoga session. You could try that. Another way to stretch out is, as you know, I'm going to switch because the sun's right in my eyes there, is to come onto your back. So everyone onto your backs, And we're going to pull the left knee in, and we're just going to take hold of the back of that left leg. So this is a nice way to stretch out the hamstrings because the back is totally supported, the back is protected. And if you have a strap, you can have the strap around the foot if you can't reach the foot. And I'm trying to keep the tailbone nice and low, and the lower back, if there's a little gap underneath the lower back, that's just fine. And this is a really nice stretch here. And then let's switch legs. Pulling the right knee in and then straightening the leg up to the ceiling. And you're holding onto the back of the leg. It could be the calf, the calf or the thighs or the foot, maybe using a strap. This other foot, so your left foot, the knee can be bent or the leg can be extended on the ground, whatever you prefer. Trying to keep the tailbone low. And you're breathing. Hip stretches. Recline pigeon. I'm bringing the left leg onto the right leg, so the outer of my left ankle is on the right leg, and we're just going to pull the legs in. So my left hand is going between the legs, the foot close to you, flex, dorsiflexion, tailbone down again, and this is going to be a nice hip stretch. And if you want, you can just rock from side to side a few times. And if you've got really open hips, you can hug that leg and pull the leg, get the leg in a little bit closer. You get a really deep hip stretch on that one. And we switch legs. Outer of the right foot onto the left leg. Right arm passes through the window between the legs. You're pulling the leg in. Foot that's close to you is flexed. You're pushing the heel out, pulling the toes in towards the shin. And maybe a little bit of rocking. And then if you're up to it, you can hug that leg, getting into a deeper stretch. Release. Pull the knees in, rock yourself up. Let's go into a seated twist. So seated twists. I'm going to pull my right foot in nice and close, and the left foot can be inside or outside the leg. If you have any knee issues, have that right leg straight on the ground like this, with the foot inside or outside the leg. If your knee's okay, you can pull the foot in. You want this left foot solidly on the ground. So if it's outside the leg and you're on the edge of the foot, for you, bring the foot back inside the leg. You're trying to get the whole sole of that foot onto the ground. We then either hug the knee, we're twisting over towards the left, or you can use that arm as a leverage. Most of you know this, we do this a lot. You inhale, getting taller and taller, and then you come into the twist on the exhale, and we take about 3 or 4 breaths here. Use that breath. Each inhale, getting length, exhale into that twist. We can go a little deeper this time. We started off with an easy twist at the beginning of the class, so now we're warmed up, we can get into a deeper twist. Inhale, we unwind, and we can keep the feet where they are, and we circle through 360. And we've got our legs set up so we can just twist in the other direction. Either hugging the knee or you're bringing the arm outside. Now to get my arm outside, I have to round the back a little bit to begin with, so I can get a little deeper. I can get that arm onto the outside of the leg, and then I'll start straightening up, and then I'll twist, start turning the head as well, looking behind me. I'm going to try and keep both shoulders soft. Another thing that happens is people will start hunching the shoulders up. Try not to let that happen. If they're hunched up, you can't avoid that, then I would just hug the knee like this, and then we unwind. Virabhadrasana, we bring the soles of the feet together. So we're making this diamond shape. I'm holding onto the feet, so a lot of arm strength, and we can just rock from side to side again. People also call it the seated butterfly. You can flap the wings. So flap a few times, and then we become still, and I'm trying to bring those hips slightly forward. I'm trying to get the back neutral, and then I try and encourage the knees down to the ground. If you find the knees are high, if you can't get your back neutral, you probably should be sitting on a block or a book. If you can get the hips higher than the knees, it really helps in this pose. This is going to be a good stretch. I'm just going to stretch out the inside of the hips on this one. And then release. Come into an easy pose. Just sit up nice and tall. Let's just stretch the neck out a few times. Bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Inhale, head up. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Inhale, head up. Turn the head, looking over the right shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Turn the head in the other direction. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, head up. Exhale, carefully take the head back. Letting the throat open. Inhale the head up. And this time we're going to take the chin to the chest again. And we're just going to rotate. Circle ahead 2 or 3 times. Take it slow. And just notice any tight spots, any kinks, any cracks. Just moving slowly. Ending up with the chin at the chest. And then we circle in the other direction. And again we end up with the chin at the chest. And then we lift the head up. Come onto your back. Let's take a full body stretch. So we're going to extend the legs. And we bring the arms over the head. Getting as much length as you can. And then take a bit of a side stretch. So we're getting into that banana shape. So I'm actually lifting my hips up. I shift the hips over to one side, and then I'm walking the arms, legs over, getting into that banana shape. Another stretch, just stretch out the side ribs and the hips. We've done a lot of side stretching today. And then other side, shifting the hips in the other direction, getting into that banana shape again. And then we recenter. And we're just going to pull the knees in, and we just rock from side to side a few times. Just massaging the lower back, massaging the sacrum. And then we come into Shavasana, extending the legs. Bringing the arms either side of you, palms face up. And just totally relax. And just check everything out, just make sure there's no tension held in the feet, the legs, hips. Just letting the whole body sink into the ground. And as I say, I like to have the palms up. I think that opens the upper chest a little bit more. The chin nicely tucked so you've got length in the back of the neck. If you find the throat is open, what you could do is slide a little book or something underneath the head just to get that neck alignment. Start taking deeper breaths. If you want to stay in Shavasana, go for it. I encourage it. If you're ready to come out, you walk the feet in, you roll over to your right side, and you gently push yourselves up. Once you're in a seated position, inhale as the arms come up, bringing the palms together, exhaling as the arms come down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the palms together, palms at the chest. So we'll take 3 ohms. So just moisten the lips with the tongue. Take a big inhale. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good weekend. I'll see you next Saturday.